Welcome back for more on hunting. In the previous video, we went over the foods that God gave to us in abundance at the time of creation. In verse 29, you can find out what we were supposed to eat and designed to eat, and also verse 30, what the beasts of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to every creeping creature on the earth, in which there is a living being, what they were supposed to eat. But the question is, what was the food of the shoals of living beings within the waters? What did they eat underneath there? Those great sea creatures. What were they doing under the water? Was the water really clear? Were there any dark spots or blurry spots deep within the water? Were these creatures within the sea hunting like sharks, seals, sea lions, dolphins, orcas, octopus, those type of creatures? Can you name any more? And not only that, didn't God do the same thing to them? In verse 22 of chapter 1, and Elohim blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and increase, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And this took place on the 5th day. Was man created at this point in time? Does that mean sea creatures are able to communicate and respond, to be obedient and disobedient? Yet in verse 28, he was given man more authority over those creatures of the sea. Remember in Numbers chapter 22, in verses 25 and 35 about the talking donkey? Have you read that yet? Have you read it to someone else yet? In Genesis chapter 1 verse 30, remember these animals on land has a living being, and these creatures of the waters shoals of living beings. In Leviticus chapter 11 verse 10, I encourage you to read the entire chapter and that verse. And also 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 36 through 44. Understand, all flesh is not the same flesh. And then going back to Genesis chapter 2 verses 15 through 17 and reading chapter 3 verse 6, we see that James chapter 1 verses 13 through 15 being fulfilled. A key verse to highlight is verse 14, but each one is enticed when he is drawn away by his own desires and trapped. And in verse 15, then when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it has been accomplished, brings forth death. Remember Genesis chapter 2 verse 17? For in the day that you eat of it, you shall certainly die. Genesis chapter 3 verse 4. And in chapter 3 verses 14 through 24, you'll read about the effects of sin and how it made life harder for the man and woman to work the ground. It was harder for them to achieve good food. And in verse 22, see, the man has become like one of us. One of us? Which one?